cup and a fireplace brings a smile to your weathered face. Ain't it funny where you find your place? Hitched a ride on a western train, 6 months in the pouring rain. You smoke a bowl just to ease your pain and get by.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the highly anticipated first airing of the Papa Top series Trailer Talk, or until we come up with a better name. This is the show where we ask the questions that you want to hear from some of your favorite musicians, artists, and general people that we know. For our first episode, we will be interviewing a very talented young musician from the Skagit Valley area of Washington, Mr. Corey Vincent. Corey, welcome to the show. Thanks for having me, man. This is a great spot. And this is yours. It's crazy. It smells like the 70s, but it's actually only a 1996. Yeah, well, how about you go? Well, let's get right into it. Our first question comes in from Facebook, and it's from Mr. Brad Aslett. Do you have an all-time favorite song? If not one, maybe a couple? An all-time favorite song. Wow. Thanks a lot, Brad. Put the pressure on. That's such a hard question. The one that I always say that comes to mind is the Rain Song by Led Zeppelin. I've said on numerous occasions that that's the most beautiful piece of music ever written. So that's one. When I think about like my favorite songs, I think about ones that I don't necessarily want to play or play along with. It's more like when it comes on, I got to stop what I'm doing and just listen. And that one is definitely it. Okay, and following along those same lines, this question comes in from Wes Jones. What's up, Wes? Do you have a favorite artist? If so, why is it Neil Young? Touché, Wes. Neil Young's definitely up there. I've got a lot of favorite artists. But when I think of the favorite artist, it's whom I'm always trying to emulate, and it would have to be Warren Haynes for me. He has it's that triple threat that I want to be, unbelievable guitar player, incredible singer, and then the songwriting, which is huge for me, which is why I love guys like Neil Young. And Lucas Nelson is right up there in that category. I would say those guys I love them so much because I'm always just trying to be them. So yeah, I would say Warren Haynes and Lucas Nelson is slowly climbing up that list of my favorite artists. Okay, Corey, I know, as many of your fans do, that you are a big fan of vinyl albums. And this next question comes in from Mike Gunther. He wants to know, what's your most prized album in your vinyl collection? Oh, man. Nice question, Mike. I don't have a lot of valuable vinyl. I don't necessarily collect the rare stuff. I do have I think it's a first pressing of Zeppelin 1 that my uncle gave me, so that's definitely something I cherish. And then he gave me some other kind of like I think they're called like picture albums, and it's a piece of vinyl, a vinyl record with a picture on it. So I've got like a Clapton and a ZZ Top one of those that he gave me that are really cool. But most valuable to me, ones that sticks out, is Lucas Nelson has an album called Something Real that I can't find it anymore on vinyl. They basically, when it came out, they made X amount and they no longer sell it, because since then he released that album on his own, and since then he's been signed to different labels, and so a lot of that stuff is just considered, it doesn't exist in their eyes, so that album is, and I reference that a lot. It's my favorite album of theirs, and I definitely, if something happened to that, I would be lost. So that's definitely one of them. Probably my Sabbath Paranoid album, because that was the album that I first discovered them with, and it's the same one that I still have, that I still listen to, that was what I was listening to in high school with my head by the speakers turned on low, you know, in the middle of the night, trying to not wake my parents up. So that one's definitely means a lot to me. And then one last one too that I think is the best sounding album I have. My good brother and drummer Terry Sherman picked me up a copy of a Roger Waters album called Amused to Death, and Jeff Beck plays guitar on this album, and he got me the super like deluxe edition reissue that is on like the best quality vinyl I've ever heard in my life, and that thing cranked up just sounds better than anything I own. So that's definitely something I cherish too. This next question comes in from Nalani. Why don't you like Springsteen? Next question. Yes, and this one is not necessarily a question, but a request from Kay Reed, and she would love to hear you sing Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Of course I can play a song for my other Aunt Kay. I love you so much and miss you, so here you go.
Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say, it'll rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water. But I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day. Yesterday and days before, sun is cold and rain is hot. I know, been that way for all my time, till forever on it goes, through the circle fast and slow. I know, I can't stop, I wonder. Well, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day. Have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day.
Well, that was beautiful. I noticed you changed for the performance. That was nice. Our next question comes in from Stacy Jones, and she wants to know, what was the first song you ever learned? First song that I ever learned was A Horse with No Name by America. Get right out of town. My uncle who bought me my first guitar, Uncle Bill Gardner, thank you, and bought me my first guitar and showed me the two chords, and that was it. I tried to just go forward from there and struggled to play it on my own. I think everybody should learn how to play this song.
first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings. And the first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La la, la 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 la. La 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 la. After 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. But after 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think it was dead. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, for there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. After 9 days, I let the horse run free, 'cause the desert it turned to sea. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings. See, the ocean is a desert with its life underground and the perfect disguise above. Under the cities lie a heart made of ground, but the humans could give no love. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to bring you no pain. La 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 la.
Yeah, something like that. Thank you, Stacy. That was fun. Corey, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I'd like to say that you've been one of the most phenomenal guests I've ever interviewed. Perhaps the best guest of all time. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure being here, and let me just say that this is probably one of the greatest interviews that I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of in my entire adult life. So thank you. And that concludes our first broadcast episode of whatever we decided to name this at the beginning of the segment. I want to thank you for tuning in. Please give us a like or a share. Let your friends know, and maybe after this is all over, we can get some real talent in here to talk to. Thank you.